Riding a naked bike looks fun. Until winter hits. No wind protection, no fairings, just you and your bike getting absolutely hammered by salt, road grime and freezing temperatures. Your frame, your chain, everything is exposed. If you're thinking about winter on a naked bike, then you need to watch this first.
So unfortunately, not all of us can afford a second bike for winter, and sometimes bikes are our only transport. I've ridden this is my third winter now, and you know, I've ridden naked bikes all through it, so I'm just going to be covering how, you know, you can make it work. So, with a naked bike that you are planning to run through winter, the most important thing is staying on top of your maintenance. It's important because, as you know, naked bikes have absolutely no fairings at all. We've got no mud guards, no extended chain guards, absolutely no protection at all from all the shit that you'll pick up on the roads in the winter, because the last thing you want is a fully corroded bike and no bike at all for summer. So after every sort of messy ride where the road's been wet, you need to be hosing down your bike. Now, if you don't have time for a full clean, that is also okay, but just hosing down all the excess sand, the grit and everything like that will just help your bike massively, because then it's not going to cling to it and just sit there for hours and days when you're not riding.
And then just giving your bike a good wash with soapy water every 1 to 2 weeks will help. I just use the muck off bike cleaner and that seems to do the job.
You need to be regularly cleaning your chain with an actual chain cleaner and getting in between all those links.
I just wanted to assure you, no, I'm not completely spraying chain lube and chain cleaner all over my tyres and my brakes. They get wiped thoroughly after. So yeah, back to the video.
Regularly re-lubing the chain, and a tip that I do is I spray WD-40 on the chain before I re-lube it to create that barrier between my chain and all the general shit on the roads really. And I'm sure you've heard this because everybody swears by it, but ACF 50, it's pretty much WD-40 but on speed. It's a very good protectant for your bike. It's best to spray it on things like your engine bolts and generally just things that you don't want to get rusty. But obviously just avoid things like don't get it near your tyres, your brakes. And I think cleaning aside, just with any bike when you're riding it through winter, just doing your regular checks, so you know, checking your tyre pressure, checking your oil levels, your brake fluid and just things like that. Those things are very important. So the next important thing is no windscreens. So the wind is going to be hitting you directly here. So that is why this is extremely important to absolutely nail your gear, because us naked bike riders, we're going to feel the cold a lot sooner than someone with a tourer, for example. But I am going to be going more in depth on that in the next video, where I'll be covering exactly what I use to stay warm on my naked bike. But I will add, it has taken me those 2 winters to figure this out. A lot of trial and error, a lot of freezing my arse off. So I want to save you guys that pain.
So if you are looking to run a naked bike through winter, just ask yourself this question: are you willing to keep on top of the maintenance? Because it's not going to be easy. You know, it's not like the people who just lock their bikes up in the garage for the season. We're going to be running these almost every day. And then just make sure you're prepared in advance. So go out and get that WD-40. You don't even need to go out and buy a jet wash. Honestly, just a bucket and a sponge. Throw the bucket at the bike. I don't know, anything just to get the salt off. And then the most essential thing here is chain cleaner and chain lube. You need to be making sure you're taking care of that chain, because the more salt that gets on it, the faster it's going to corrode, and then worst case scenario is it's going to snap, and that's not what we want. Because the reality is not everyone can afford a second bike, and also some people don't have another option. Sometimes bikes are your only transport, like me, so we have to make it work with what we have. So this video is about how we can adapt and how we can actually make a naked bike, which isn't even designed for winter, work.
As you know, sorry, there's temporary lights all of a sudden. I wasn't fucking prepared for that. Also, what are we thinking of this new angle? Something that I'm trying. I've got well, they say it's a windscreen mount, but you know the MT-03 doesn't have a windscreen, so I've sort of just clipped it on to that small little bit of plastic just above the headlight. I'm very worried it's going to fall off though, because you know it's not really gripping much.